Welcome back to the workshop. So in the last episode you saw me make this mist system, so I had a mist on off and then I also had an air blast function, and I set it up so we had the two regulators, one for the tank, so if I needed to apply a bit of tank pressure I could, and then one for the mist pressure, and it was all controlled by the solenoids, and then we got it all hooked up through the pipework here, through the little mixer block here, and we've got the reservoir mounted up there. So as a quick reminder as to how it all worked, I haven't got the air pressure on at the moment, but this was the air valve, so that would turn it on, and then we have air available to the system. The mist was just an on-off, so that would run the solenoid, and that would open the valve, and then the mist system would start, and it would come out this nozzle down here, and then we could change the mixer block and then vary the sort of air to mist ratio. And then also we had another button down here. When we push this, you can hear this relay come in, and that just sent the main tank pressure from the compressor through there, and it blasted, and at the moment it comes out of this hose here. And if you remember in the last episode, I thought it'd be quite nice to have that kind of integrated into the block, so let's go and have a look and see how we can do that. Okay, so this is my plan. So this is the main air hose I've got at the moment, and I want to rig this up so it goes into here somehow. So there's two options really. I think I can drill a hole in here and put a 1/4 NPT and put the hose into here through a 90-degree elbow, or another option is maybe to unscrew this and put some kind of connector in here, some banjo joint or something like that, so I can come into the airstream and have it blast out the bottom down here. So I think to work out which is the best option, we'll take this apart, take it over to the bench, and then have a look and see what we got. Okay, so I'll probably take this off. There's a bit of PTFE tape on that, but that's okay, we can put that back. Then we'll have a look inside and just see where the channels go. I imagine it's just a blind hole, and then looks like they've cross drilled to get that one engaged. We'll have a look, so maybe a 14. Oh, that's tight. I wonder if it's imperial. Well, it's on now. Something's holding it in there. Didn't expect that. Oh, I see. There's a pipe in there. Just about to see it. Right, that changes things. Right, let me I'll take these off and then have a look and see what's going on. I think we'll just take this right out. Except it doesn't want to come right out. Okay. It's a bit more sophisticated than I thought. Yeah, it doesn't want to come anymore. That's surprisingly tight. It's not left-handed thread, is it? No. That's very tight. I feel like I'm going to snap something. No, okay, here it comes. It's probably just tight on the tape. Okay, so we've got tape around that end, that's fine, and then it's like a series of holes. Must admit, I just thought it was going to be like a needle, like you get on a carburettor. Remember those things? As I tighten that, what's that doing? Can't tell. Oh, about down there. I don't know, I guess that's a needle going into a seat back down here. Okay. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tube in there. Just stopping this coming off. So I wonder if this whole unit does some kind of mixing before it goes back down here, and it has to enter via the pipe at the top. Something a bit more clever going on than I thought. Alright, we'll take that one out and see what we can see. I wonder if that pipe is connected to that. Let's have a look. Similar thing on that one. Yeah, same, just smaller. Remember that goes into the back, okay. So there's a little grub screw that's sealed there, and it comes through. It comes out just there. You see the white PTFE tape around it, so that wall's quite thin, and then it's just into this main void, so as I can tell. So I can't see where the pipe goes at the moment. I'll look in the end, see if I can see what's going on. So if I look up in here, I can see, I can't get the camera in unfortunately, but the pipe goes into, it's like a kind of fitting, and I wonder if that is to give access to screw that in and hold it inside this block somehow. So what I decided to do is, I'm just going to undo this end. I've just loosened it. There you are. I assume this is the other end of that little pipe. I fear this may never go back together, but let's have a look and see what we can find. Okay, so I've got a okay. So we've got those 4 little holes and then a tube. I wonder if the 4 little holes in the tube are separate and somehow independently come down here and mix only at this point, or whether that's just an extra mixing function. Yeah, more complicated than I thought. Well, I thought I've come this far, I may as well undo this. Presumably this is how they got it all together. It's like a little M5 grub screw, I guess. Again with sealant on it. And what can we see down there? Not a lot. Let me get some light. Still not sure what's going on. Okay, so right, that is to allow them to drill through. There is a hole back there. See it there? Is that all it does? No, I can't get it in. Oh, maybe some kind of little fitting up there. Yeah, give me a minute, I'll be right back. Right, I've worked it out. It's actually quite complicated, or more so than I thought. So the mist goes into here through the control valve, and then that's cross-drilled across there, and then there's a fitting in here, which goodness knows how they got that in there or how they secured it, but essentially that fitting then joins to a pipe, and then that pipe comes all the way down here, and you could just about see it's that clear tube there, and that comes out the center only. So you got the mist, or the coolant at this point, coming out the center, and then, so that was that one, and then that one just goes into this main body. It doesn't go anywhere else, it can't go up, it's blocked off. It only goes down, essentially, the rest of this through the outside. So there's that pipe going through the middle of the mist, and then the air comes around the outside, and then the air ends up, I don't know if you can see on the back of that, there's some little holes, maybe, and it comes out through these little holes around the outside. So the air's coming through here, and the mists, or the coolant at this point, is coming through here, and then there's some, yeah, so there's not a lot of space where the mixing basically happens essentially just right here. Quite intricate really. Okay, not quite sure how they got that on there and built it, but that means I need to rethink how I can get my high pressure air in, because I want to get it into this port here. I can't take it off here because that's going to make that complicated, because it's got the tube in the middle. I wonder if I drilled in from the side here, that might lead to this chamber, and then we're in that way. Could come in this side, but I'm near the threads and I might break those. Just got to be careful I don't drill into the pipe that's in the middle. I'll have a look at my options and then I'll bring you back. Okay, I was just trying to peek down the side here to see if I'd clearance to put the drill in, and the pipe popped off the end, which is going to be interesting to kind of get it back together, because you're trying to get it onto, yeah, see that fitting they've put in the end there. That fitting, I guess, is a screw fit into there, and that brings you out to about here, and then that's cross-drilled from here, so that goes through there and through that fitting, and then the main air just comes through there, yeah, and into this chamber and down the outside and mixes at the end. Right, so yeah, getting it back together, because you can't hold the pipe because there isn't enough of it, I don't think. No, I can't get anywhere near it, and as soon as you try and push, it just moves out of the way. So I guess they put this on there first and then pressed that in, and then did something clever at this end. Well, I'm here now, so I might as well mark it up, drill the hole, and then see if I can get it back together. Okay, so I've got the blocking device here, and I was just measuring it out, just so it's far enough away from this thread here where the main tube comes out, and then not too close to where this little grub screw is and the thread the other side where the needle valve comes in, so it's kind of halfway between the two. I've just got the spotting drill in here just to make sure I'm definitely happy. So then we'll drill this out to 7/16. So the 7/16 is the tapping size of the 1/4 inch NPT, which is the thread we need. We've got our 1/4 inch NPT tap there. So this is it's a 1/4 inch by 18. That's high speed steel tap, but that's fine. And then I don't have many imperial drills, so that's 11.1, and this is an 11mm drill, but it does cut a little bit oversized, so if I'm just gentle without scratching the cutting faces, somewhere about, yeah, somewhere about there, just slightly over. So I think it's aluminium as well, so we'll make that work. So we'll spot it out, and then we'll come in with this, and then we'll tap it. tap. We'll put plenty of WD-40 on it. And then we'll be using the jog function again, so it just intermittently operates like that. Okay, I'll just get it started and then hand finish the rest. I don't have a tapping wrench big enough for this, so I guess that's 3/8. This 10mm ring spanner fits quite nicely. Till I've tapped it deep enough, because I think these taps are tapered, and then the actual MPT fitting is straight. Yeah, I'm tempted to give that a try, see how far down it will seat. Okay, so there's the new hole, and you can see just how close I came to that sort of valve thing down there, or that tube adapter. Just stopped short, and looks like we didn't break through this wall, so that's good, and we didn't drill through that thread either. Yeah, in fact, we could have come this way a little bit more. Anyway, I'll call that a success. So all I've got to do now is put it back together with the extra piece in. Now, I've only got this 1/4" MPT, which is to a 4mm push fit. I thought I had some 6 left, but that'll do for now. I'll use a little bit of 4, and then somewhere I got a 4 to 6 adapter, and that will get me going. And then I'll swap this out. I'll order one and swap it out. Alright, let's put it together then. Okay, well, as you can see, I've managed to get it all back together. So we've got our little mix of valves on, and then this is the new fitting here with our 4mm hose. As I say, when I get a 6mm one, I'll swap that out, but that'll do for now. Yeah, that's all went. Actually having that drilled and tapped there, you could see all the way down to that fitting, so that pipe that stuck out. So when I screwed this on and had the plastic pipe sticking out the end, as I screwed this up, it kind of pushed itself on, and then I was able to get in there, because there's quite a lot of, like, an access window now, and use some little tools and just make sure the pipe went on. I don't know how they did it in the original factory. Maybe they just heated the end and got it warm, and then when they inserted that, it naturally went over the end. Who knows? Anyway, it's a lot easier now. I've got that window opened up. Bad news is, though, that when I tightened this up, I think it was 14, yeah, put lots of tape on it, tied it up, and I thought, yeah, that'll just do. And just as I thought that'll do, it was a kind of crack noise, and as you can see, it's not particularly tight now. So I think I've damaged the threads on this plastic part. I guess it was always going to be a little bit vulnerable to that. So yeah, it doesn't really want to tighten up anymore. So okay, we'll see how long that lasts, because obviously as you're moving this around, as you can see, putting a lot of force on there, so I don't think it's going to last very long. Hopefully you can buy metal versions of these, and then I'll probably get one of those tools that allows you to pop these apart, and maybe get a longer one and put a longer 4mm tube in there and just make it a little bit longer and make this a little bit more resilient. But yeah, there's things for the future. But anyway, for now, let's go and put it back on the machine and see if it works. So rather than cut this pipe, I've pushed it back because when I get the actual correct fitting, which is a 6mm push fit, I don't quite know how long I'm going to need it, so we'll just leave it long for now, and then I'll just put it into this 6mm to 4. Obviously we'll restrict the flow doing this, but at least we can see if it's all functional. So that's our air blast, and then that's the main air supply, and then this one's the mist from the tank. Okay. Okay, now I've got a big 5-litre container of WD-40 that I bought from Screwfix. I've had it quite a long time, and because I'm cutting aluminium, I think that's what I'm going to put in. In the last video I had suggestions for alternatives, so I'm still looking into those, but because for now I've got loads of this WD-40, so we'll start with that and see how we get on. So this is the 5-litre container I got from Screwfix quite a while ago. Lasts a long time, as you can imagine, and then I just dispense it into this little spray can that came with it. So if I'm doing cutting, that's what I've been using, or if I'm tapping threads, I can use that as well. Yeah, I think the whole thing, this 5-litre container and the spray was about £30, which is quite a lot, but it lasts an awful lot longer, pound for pound, compared to just buying it in a spray can. That's just not an economic way to go. So I'll just put a little bit in here. Let's see how we get on. Let's start with that. Looks appetizing, doesn't it? Let's see if I can fit it without this screwing and lifting out. Looks like it's going to stay down. Okay, so the compressor's on, we've got full pressure, so I'll turn, just make sure they're off. Open the valve. Okay, a little bit of air came in. Let's just try blast first. Okay, we switch on the mist. So open the air first. And then we'll open the coolant. Oh, yeah, it's coming through. Now I am getting some air leaking out of there because that joint's not very good, and I've basically broken it, so I'll have to look into fixing that, maybe with a metal version. I could probably do with this being extended a bit. but functionally, yeah, that works really well. Now I thought the air blast might just put pure air out, but it does seem to, because it's going down the same outlet, it draws a lot of fluid. Well, maybe that's no bad thing to give it a sudden blast of fluid as well. It's like a boost, I guess. But in principle, it does work. Okay, so we'll do a quick test here. So I've got a scrap piece in the vise. We're going to do a pocket, be about 5mm deep. So we'll spiral into that and then just machine that out to some nominal size, I don't know, 30mm or something like that. I could, go in full depth here, doing with and without coolant and all this kind of lots of different testing and machine a lot of bits. In practice, I know how quick I can machine with this or how slowly I have to machine normally, and just use the hand spray to keep it okay and not stalling. So just see how we get on. I'll just we'll try it a couple of times and ramp the speed up and see if I can get close to the nominal speeds that you're supposed to be able to cut aluminium at. So I'll set this all up, write a little bit of G-code, using my little mini G-code creator, and then we'll get going. Okay, so I'll minimize this, fire up my little G-code creator. I'll put a link to this where I saved it on the My CNC forum for those of you interested. Just a little bit of simple code, and it just creates simple G-code based on a few parameters. So it's kind of like conversational programming. So we'll do an inside pocket, 30% overlap, tool 6, and we'll zero over the top of that hole where we want to cut it. That's the safe height, that's fine. Let's do 30. Diameter of the circle, depth, let's go to 6. Radial stop to leave now, we're just playing about, so we'll leave that. Include a full depth finish pass, so we don't need that. Keep that at 200 for the plunge feed rate. So the cutting feed rate, let's go 1200. So that's pretty quick, but what we'll do, we'll use the feed rate override on the control panel here and then work our way up to that. And then let's go 3mm deep. Again, normally I wouldn't be able to do that. And then it's going to save it. Just make sure it knows where it's going on the desktop. Okay, and then create the G-code, which is there. So it's just a few notes about the program itself. We'll switch the spindle on. Then it starts cutting all the spirals, and that was the end of it. There we go. Okay, so that will have created a little file and put it on the desktop, which is that one. In fact, we can open that up. Let's just have a look. Yep, that's what's created. And then if we go back into UCCNC and we'll load the file on the desktop, which is that one. And we can have a look at it in the toolpath as well. So we can see it's going to cut that and spiral down and work its way out. Right, looks okay. Okay, well, let's get it all set up and give it a go. I think the cutter's blunt. We'll swap that out. Right, we'll swap the cutter out. I did have a look at it, it was pretty blunt, so yeah, let's have a go with this one. Okay, got another new cutter in there. I've changed the parameters a little bit so it's less aggressive. I think we're basically, even with the coolant, running up against the limitations of this motor. It's only 1.5 kilowatt. As you can hear when it spools up, I think there's something wrong with it. It's been going probably more than 10 years, cutting a lot of this kind of stuff. I think I need to do something a bit different. But anyway, backed off some of the parameters, so hopefully we can get some success and get it into the cut, and then maybe if it sounds right, I'll ramp it up and just see where we go from there. Right, I don't know, third, fourth time lucky? Anyway, whatever, let's go. Okay, well, what have I learned from that? Well, first of all, yeah, this spindle motor is sounding really poorly. The bearings, I think, are shot or need tightening at least. So, you know, it's a project for another day. Once we'd got into it and got the parameters set a little bit more appropriately, I think I went a bit too aggressive on the first cuts. So we went through about, I think it was about the third cutter. First one was blunt, snapped the next one into this one. And once we got going and I got a feel for it, I know we're taking only, I think, 0.1 millimeters side cut, or radial cut, and we were spiraling down 6 millimeters. So, you know, still conservative. It felt pretty happy. It was easily machining that, and we got up to 130% override, so that's 1200 millimeters per minute times another 30%. So, you know, it's going pretty quick. Probably could bring that back down a bit, you know, and go a bit more aggressive on the cut or play around with it. So that's the first thing I learned. Second thing was this joint here, yeah, it's broken and it's the air's leaking out here and it's not really making a very good mist. I've put some tape around it to try and help. But you know, I'm gonna have to source a new hose, or yeah, maybe get a metal version of one of those, because when I hold it and stop it leaking, it sprays quite nicely. So I was having to do an intermittent burst, but I think it basically shows the principles, and yeah, I'm very happy with the way this is going, so very pleased. So I think that about wraps up this video. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how that works. The controls work perfectly, the reservoir and the tank work perfectly, the mixer block was fine. I've just broken that thread, so I need to repair that. The principle's there. You can certainly get an awful lot more speed out of it using the mist system, there's no doubt. You know, it gives you that extra confidence, and hopefully don't break too many bits in the future. And then I can reduce my machining time as well. So I hope you've enjoyed. Hope that was something that was interesting for you. I'm sure those who've got mist systems, you're running, you know all this already, and you're probably even running faster again and could go a bit more aggressive. But yeah, first steps, very, very pleased with this. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.